Good morning. I hope this finds you having a nice morning. You've done CNN student news. You've recited the pledge, hopefully. You haven't driven Miss Wolf off. And it's Monday. Seniors, just a reminder, get your stuff in by Wednesday if you would like to graduate on Friday. If you don't have stuff on Wednesday to me, then you will have to stay longer. That means on Thursday and Friday, you can come to school, do the assignment, but I'm not counting it toward your grade. I will count it as a completion. Don't let me down, because I won't let you down. So without further ado, let me get to today's lesson. We're going to be discussing adverbs. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb by making its meaning more specific. Adverbs answer the question: how, when, where, and to what degree. When modifying a verb, an adverb may appear in various positions in a sentence. When modifying an adjective or another adverb, an adverb appears directly before the modified word. Let's look at the examples. The boy had run quickly home. Quickly modifies the verb phrase had run. Kate is very nervous about her performance. Very modifies the adjective nervous. Dr. Delacourt removed the bandages quite carefully. Quite modifies the adverb carefully. Carefully modifies the verb removed. The negatives no, not, and the contraction N'(T) are adverbs. Other negative words such as nowhere, hardly, and never can function as adverbs of time, place, and degree. Let's look at the examples. I couldn't remember where I left my science book. Couldn't becomes the adverb. The rain never begins until softball practice starts. Never tells about a time. It's an adverb. Let's look at exercise 1. Exercise 1. Draw an arrow from each adverb to the word it modifies. The children were happily playing in the park for an hour. Happily modifies playing and the verb were. Were happily playing. Were playing would be the verb phrase. So in this instance, happily comes between the verb phrase. Let's look at number 1. We gleefully danced because of our victory. The adverb would be gleefully. Gleefully did what? Danced. Who gleefully danced? We. Very good. My sister can type fast. Type is the verb, or can type is the verb phrase. Fast tells what degree. The maple tree in the yard is gradually losing its leaves. Gradually would be the adverb. is losing would be the verb phrase. The grandfather clock chimes merrily. Locate the adverb. Merrily. What does merrily modify? The verb chimes. Number 5. The big harvest moon shone brightly in the October sky. Brightly would be your adverb, modifies the verb shone. Father loudly whistled for his dog. Father loudly whistled for his dog. Let's locate the verb in there. The verb would be whistled. So what modifies whistled? Loudly. Loudly. So the arrow would point to whistled. Number 7. The high school band marched proudly in the festival parade. Proudly. Proudly modifies the verb marched. Number 8. I thought the conductor was rather late in calling all aboard. Was rather late in calling all aboard. Late tells time. If we go back up here, other negative words, nowhere, hardly, never, can function as adverbs of time, place, and degree. Number 9. The muddy creek flows very quickly. Quickly is the adverb. It tells how the muddy creek flows. And you could even highlight very quickly. Number 10, the young artist watched the master closely. We locate the verb watched. Watched what? Closely. Or how. Watched how. Because remember, an adverb answers the question. How, when, where, and to what degree. So you find the verb and you ask, how did the verb? When did the action? Where did the verb? To what degree did the action happen? All right, let's take a moment and do 11 through 20 on your own. I will pause the video and return to see just how well you're doing. Okay, so by now you should have had plenty of time to do 11 through 20. And let's look at finding the adverbs. The cooks in the cafeteria generously gave to the food drive. Generously gave. The dairy cows grazed contentedly in the sweet clover. Contentedly grazed. It is near impossible to see butterflies this time of year. Nearly is impossible is where your arrows go. So again, nearly is your adverb. Number 14, Canadian geese gently settled down on the blue lake. Gently settled. Number 15, boats that flew colorfully painted sails glided through the canal. Colorfully is the adverb. Flew is the verb. Karen and Brad seem very pleased with their score in ice dancing. Very, to what degree, seem pleased. Number 17. The cool air subtly reminds us that fall is approaching. Subtly reminds. Number 18. My family is planning this year's completely relaxing vacation. Completely is planning. Number 19. The track team eagerly ate the soup and sandwiches. Eagerly ate. Number 20. The baby bird fluttered clumsily. Clumsily is the adverb. Fluttered is the verb. So that was 11 through 20. Let's look down. 21 through 40. Do exercises 21 through 40. Or numbers 21 through 40 in exercise 1. And let's just look at highlighting or underlining the adverb. We don't have to draw or write, rather, if it's a V, an adj, or an av. But let's just highlight or underline or circle There's the first 5. The wind whistled sharply through the trees. Sharply is the adverb. The crowd angrily protested the court's decision. Angrily. He hardly had the ball. Hardly. I enrolled in a slightly unusual course. Slightly is the adverb. And number 5, Diane carried the carton of eggs very carefully. Carefully is the adverb. Now I want you to take notice of a couple of things. Adverbs usually end in Y or ly. So you can take a word, which is a verb, and if you can add ly, it becomes an adverb.